welcome to Monica Rice video blog, and I'm here with Kathryn Kij. Oh, how do you pronounce your last name?
Key, like
Key.
a car key.
Oh, okay, Kij. Sorry.
It's all good.
And can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you've done, what you're doing now?
Absolutely. I'm kind of like have you ever watched Gilmore Girls?
No, but it's okay.
Well, for people who watch Gilmore Girls, I'm like the crazy weird Kirk guy who like once a week you see him doing a completely different job. Like one day he'll be a mailman, the next day he'll be a realtor. That's kind of me.
Well, can you tell us some of your adventures you've been in?
Oh my gosh, have I done about everything in this town? I have done everything from since I was 15, food service to retail to waitressing, and then I was an art major. Then I went on to be a cosmetologist, which is funny because since I was like 11, the three things I wanted to do was first artist, if that didn't work, then hairdresser, and it was funny, third was always florist. Well, I have a friend who keeps trying to get me to work at the florist shop this year, so I really could check that off my bucket list.
You could.
And then I even went into I owned my own salon for a short period, owned my own store, and then now I run like 4 businesses under like my umbrella company, the Cat's Meow.
So let's talk about the Cat's Meow a little bit more. Can you tell us what the Cat's Meow was? What was the inspiration behind that? And how did you even get started in that area?
Absolutely, that was just a craziness all on its own. It was just literally I dived in and held my breath and hoped I didn't sink because a few years back I'd been having some dreams about opening up a boutique, and then it turned into a salon, like these weird repetitive dreams. And this lady came to me and she wanted to pass down her salon to me and talked me into, even though I was not financially at all in the place, she talked me into opening the storefront next to her because they had an interconnecting door and turning into a salon and boutique. Well, so I dived into that like headstrong. It was crazy. There was times where I was like, how am I even going to fill this store? Because like $6,000 does not get you a lot in inventory. You don't realize that. Like you're like, oh my gosh, this place is so empty. And then unfortunately that kind of fell through, that whole thing. So that's when a friend of mine, he found me the location where I was downtown, and I turned it into just a boutique, only dropping the salon part.
Let's talk about a little bit of what you do now.
Okay.
What you said you're in 4 little businesses. So what are they? And let's talk a little bit about them.
Yes, well, the Cat's Meow is the main business. That's like I call my umbrella. Under it, I still do a lot of craft shows. I do a lot of, my main thing, even though I can do everything, is crochet. And I've even gotten to where I take a lot of custom orders. Like for Christmas, I did a custom, and I can have pictures available for the thing. Wendy's hamburger hat, like I've done turtle hats, everything. I also still do hair. I go house to house. In fact, I find that I really enjoy catering to disabled and like single mothers and stuff like that, people who can't leave their home, because since I have kind of a disability myself, I kind of have a real passion for people with disabilities, and I don't treat them any different. So I really started gearing up on that. And then I also do jamboree, which are nail wraps, more as a hobby for fun. And then I also do Perfectly Posh, which has really taken off for me. And actually between Posh and my regular business, I do 10 times better than like I ever did at my store. So I'm loving it, and I get to work out of my house. Show you a little bit of what my major passion is, which is my arts, because again I was a fine arts major. I brought a little bit of my crochet work today to show you. I do a lot of trendy stuff, and a lot of times I don't even use patterns, but some of my items in here I do have pattern that did take from patterns. But this is an example of some of my original pieces to show that I usually just go to stores like Icings, Charming Charlie's, and look at what's really in trend. And then I make my own kind of versions. Like these right here are my fingerless gloves that I keep figuring one year they're not going to sell, but they still keep selling out every year. So you can wear them, and then I make all kinds of headbands and stuff, but this is mainly my signature style right here that I do. And it's, I mean, basically not your grandmother's crochet. This is stuff that you'd actually see in a boutique. I do a lot of other stuff, like I do a lot of custom work that I just, a lot of times will look at pictures. So this is my new Jack Skellington hat from this year. This one was a pattern, but I'm going to start branching out and more kids hats. I also have a UW line that I work on. I have so many items, but I just brought a couple to show you. Like this is one of my headbands. And I have a lady who makes my varsity letters. So they are totally all made in Wyoming. Fingerless gloves, these are a men's pair. Men love them because I first started selling them actually to hunters in camo because they have their trigger finger handy. Here's one of my new styles because I'm starting to branch out into kids. And then here shows some of my new styles for kids. How I like to do little kids in grown-up colors. I don't like all the pastels and icky colors that they do. I have a new women's hunting line, and that shows it. And I've got a traditional hunting line with the orange too, but this was actually a client of mine's idea. So I started doing the pink this year. And then lately, I've been getting more goofy, especially because I deal a lot with insomnia. And this is the results of my insomnia. First we have cat butt coasters. Gotta love those cat butts, right? I love those. And then we have booby hats for infants. So when you're nursing, it looks like this. That is awesome. I already have some people who are like, oh my god, I have to have some of those. That's where my mind goes late at night. And then just to kind of show you how I can do just about everything, here's a couple of my paintings as well. And I can even do commissioned work. All I need is a photo to go off of people. But I plan to eventually do every kind of TV show and movie that's really popular. Like right now I'm painting one of Daryl from Walking Dead. And oh my gosh, I made his eyes more dreamy than in real life because I was like, ooh, gonna have to turn the heat down in here.
But I really want to close with any advice you want to give out to people who maybe want to start up their own business, like make it a physical presence inside their town. What is your advice to them?
I would just say biggest advice is focus on getting out to the people. And I found that getting out to them and instead of expecting them to come to you works so much better here. Word of mouth advertisement is the best. And you don't have to start big. Literally, like I said, I started with, I had a couple $1,000s to go get some inventory, and then literally every time I did a haircut or something and pulled in, or a hair color and pulled in $150, I literally spent it on something towards the business. And the biggest mistake I made that probably was the biggest cost of my business is you need to have a nest egg. I didn't have one starting out, and so when times got rough, because being in business is a huge risk, but that's why usually all the wealthiest people in the country are business owners, because they've taken gigantic risks. However, I didn't have anything to fall back on if those risks didn't pan out. So if I could do it all over again, I would have at least probably 3 months worth of like income to pay bills and stuff, like in savings. That would be my biggest tip.
Well, thank you so much, Kathryn. I really appreciate you coming out and talking with us and discussing what you do and what you have done.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad that you were able to come out.
Cool, awesome, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.